It is also easier for those in corporate law practice to specialize in a narrow domain or target a new upcoming trend. In litigation also, it is possible to specialize, but not as much. Okay, because you have to understand that corporate law work is earlier in the chain, right? So it's like litigation arises much later. Corporate law, and it's a much serious stage. But when you are doing drafting a contract, let's say, or you are advising them on government policy, or you are advising them on compliances and so on, right? So this work is much more common, ubiquitous, and it is initial level. There is not as much urgency. Nobody's so scared that, oh, people are willing to take chances with younger lawyers, right? So it is easier for you to get more work by specializing in a narrow domain. It is beneficial for litigators also, to especially young lawyers. It's a good idea to specialize, but it's just much harder to get clients and find clients in litigation. Okay, in litigation, because it's more serious. Like, for a small ailment, you might still go to a any doctor, you don't care. But when you are really ill and you need a surgery, or you need something very serious, you want to go to the best possible doctor. Then you want to look. You have a normal headache, you have fever, you might go to any nearby doctor, right? There's a difference in your approach, and this is the difference. In litigation, you may be running around courts and may find it frustrating to wait for judges to hear your case for hours. Imagine, you are in Delhi and you have one hearing in the Supreme Court, one in the High Court, one in some Tis Hazari court, one in Saket court, and you're running around different courts. It can be quite a challenge, right? But corporate lawyers don't do that. And even if you're successful, you might be appearing today in Delhi High Court, tomorrow in Bombay High Court, and it's like big, lot of running around, physical running around is involved. And sometimes you're sitting in the court waiting for your turn to come. You are not a senior lawyer, right? So you are a junior lawyer. You might be waiting the whole day, and your case may not be called or postponed to next day. So your whole day in the court sitting is wasted. And this is the experience of lawyers all the time. Virtual hearings because of virtual hearings, this has changed, right? It's a blessing that way, that you don't have to sit in the court and wait. At your home, if you are sitting, you can at least do something else. You can read something, you can write an article, you can start preparing for the next case, sitting at home when you're doing virtual hearing. It's a game changer. And you can appear in as many courts as you want sitting at your home. But this is not the case. Many lawyers' income has increased because they don't have to go sit in a court and wait all day for the hearing to come. In litigation, it may be a great idea to practice in a small, prosperous, growing district town. Okay, this is also a fact, that people think that litigation, there is money only in big cities, but this is not correct. I can tell you, because I work with so many clients, increasingly from tier 2, tier 3 cities, small towns, okay, district towns, people are making good money. It is possible to earn 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh rupees per month by being a good lawyer in that place. Okay, but there is very less competition. You can quickly grow in such a place. If you're smart, you'll be able to act, because there is the bar of competition is so low that you'll be able to easily cross that bar and get work. It might be much harder for you to succeed in Delhi or in Bombay, but in a smaller, if you go to Ghaziabad, even there are more lawyers. But still, I'm just saying, even if you go to smaller places, it may be easier for you to get a lot of, maybe in Gurgaon, certainly in Gurgaon, much easier to get work in sessions court and so on. Okay, and build a practice successfully is much easier. Okay, it may be there are lots of thriving litigation practices in tier 2, tier 3 cities and even smaller towns. Okay, and people have money and they are spending money on litigation. You just have to be smart and you can figure this out. It may not be possible to build much of a corporate practice in such places. Okay, maybe in Gurgaon, yes, but because there are so many corporates there. But in other cities like that, where it is almost impossible to build a corporate practice, for example, in Jaipur or in Dehradun, to run an exclusive corporate practice would be impossible. Okay, but it is possible. Things have been changing rapidly. Now there are some litigators who are smart enough that they are doing some corporate work on the side, okay, which involves less desk job and more of speaking. I think until you become like a senior counsel and you are only speaking and other people are doing all the work, initially it will be a desk job everywhere. You get to speak in court if you're a litigator. If you get to argue in negotiator as a negotiator in corporate law also. But honestly speaking, it's not like it is a day's job whether you whatever you do, okay. So that is unavoidable as a lawyer, right? You have to spend a lot of time with papers, you have to spend a lot of time reading, you have to spend a lot of time researching, you have to spend a lot of time formulating your arguments and your ideas, maybe sharpening your presentation and so this is inevitable, okay. But even in a corporate law firm, you get to negotiate, right? So you're prepared a deal, you're negotiating with the other side, that is, you kind of say is the equivalent of your arguing before a court, okay.